Good afternoon to everybody in the UK. Hello and welcome to the Iain Mason Show here on Spiritual Psychics TV, where today we welcome you with a whole lot of love. So thank you for joining with us. You'll see I'm wearing my nice bright yellow t-shirt. Get that sunshine out there. That's what we need to do. Send out our positivity, happy vibes, feel good in ourselves, raise our own energy. And the thing with color therapy and things like that, because it is a kind of a therapy, isn't it? Wearing the colours, sometimes if you're feeling a bit blue in the old sort of speak of the word, you want to put on something that isn't so great. Put on something bright. It lifts you. It helps you. It's great. And whatever infects you affects everybody else. It's fantastic. So welcome, welcome, welcome to this live soul stream where we're going to share some insight and some new tools today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, let's do a few hellos to welcome you all on. So hello to Christine Davis, good afternoon. Good afternoon to RJ, my lovely producer, working super hard. He's pedaling in the background to create the electricity. Christine Murray, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're from outside of the UK, let me know where you're calling from as well. Lynn's, good afternoon to you too. It's so great that you're all joining us. Mary, good afternoon. That's nice. Ian and Richard, lovely, lovely, lovely. Send some love hearts through because we like that too. Hi, yes, Sue, how you doing? It's great for you to join with us. Fantastic, fantastic. Hello, Alison. That's it. And do say hello to each other as well, but not too much because there we go. That's my sign. Scratch my nose. We have some interesting things to do today. Now, what I'm going to encourage you to do, and I'll say a few more hellos as we work through this introduction period, is grab yourselves a pen and some paper because you just may need to write some things down for you. And these are the tools and the experiences that you're going to get, which just might help you focus your attention on some new ways for you to help you through whatever it is that you're going and growing through yourselves. Hi, Amanda, lovely of you to join with me this morning or this afternoon, depending upon wherever you are. So welcome, 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 everyone. Now, there's a few things to go through today, but first I'd just like to deal with something that needs to be dealt with first. Hello, Harley Johnston. Hiya. Every time I hear that song Americanos now, your name pops up in my head, so it's so funny. But good afternoon to Perthshire from here in the UK. So this is interesting. Now, I do a lot of work with a lot of different sources that inspire me, where I'm drawn, what I feel inside, whatever ignites me, whatever causes me to kind of get on with what I feel I need to get on with. And I surrender to that because most of the time I don't know. That's why they call it the benevolent universe, isn't it? We need to allow the magic of whatever it is to work with us, for us, through us, and to us. Because don't forget, life is happening for you, not to you. So when you see all of those posts on Facebook where people are spouting their woes, and you kind of feel the energy behind the ones that are less genuine than more genuine, it's not a good place to be because it's very interesting to observe, not cast an opinion or a judgment, that the comments that come back from the people that they come back from, when you observe what's going on around them, there's a likeness there. So that's how like attracts like, because we resonate and link in with everything that we can see. And that's how sometimes we can get stuck, because if we're not in the place that's right for us, well, that's why we don't feel that we can get out, because everything that we see is in fact around us. So wherever we turn, it doesn't seem any different to you. Okay, hello, Stace. Lovely for you to join us. Great job the other day, by the way, on your first outing on your own show. So it's really important that's why when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, because you change that external landscape, lifescape. It's your future scape in the sense of it being the desire that you see for yourself rather than a future point in time. So it's really, really important to embrace all of this stuff and stay strong and true to everything that you feel is right for you. Never waver, never be swayed by convincing argument either. And here's a lovely saying. I picked it up. It was posted by Morgan Freeman, the famous actor. I'd love to say he'd pop round for a cup of tea down in Sussex, but in fact he hadn't. But never mind. He put this up and it was a piece of advice given to him. And it was, never take criticism from someone you wouldn't go to for advice. Let me say that one more time for you. Never take criticism from someone you wouldn't go to for advice. Now that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So when you go back to that lifescape that I talked about, that vision that you think is for you, but in fact is just a mirror of where you are and everybody around you, because that's what you see and resonate and feel comfortable with. That's why you want to be there. That's why it seems familiar and comfortable. Doesn't matter whether it's your mother, your brother, or your lover. You've got to look at all this stuff and ask yourself, is it serving me now? So, hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show. So, I would love to share this with you. Now, Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley, is an inspirer today, as is Sri Kumar Rao, and also myself as well, and my own guidance for whatever that is that moves through me. Just this amazing creative force that just does something that I can't explain. So I'd like to share this with you. It's something that Vishen Lakhiani said that I've mixed up and in my own way done the best I can with that makes sense to me. And I'd like to read it to you because this is kind of fresh off the press. So here's the work, right? Okay, so here we go. We see the world as we are, not how it is. Hence why, when we make the change within us, the changes on the outside make themselves visible to us and seem to happen all on their own. Let me read that one more time. When we see the world as we are, not how it is. Hence why, when we make the change within us, the changes on the outside make themselves visible to us and seem to happen all on their own. Now, hopefully, that's going to make a lot of sense to some of you, because you know what, as we go through life, we can't hold on to anything. It's two words, that anything, not one word, because everything that is there for us, that comes for us, is for us to literally experience, not to hold on. It passes through us. If you attach yourself to it, then you won't, if you like, learn the lessons, as they say, from it. And this is really, really important to do because you see, with an experience, all we have to do is acknowledge it. And in that acknowledging, we can just say to ourselves, look, okay, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's good, bad, it is what it is, right? It's just experience. Good morning, Crystallize. It really, really doesn't matter. Okay. It's just that experience that comes through you. And all you have to do with it is to decide, what is that doing for me right now? Because, sometimes people talk about when you get your buttons pushed and things like that, and you seem to have a reaction to that because it's a program within you that's so habitual that you do it almost, I'm going to use the words, without thinking, without wishing to be disrespectful to anybody. Okay. And this is really, really important, that we need to really understand that no matter what it is, good, bad, or indifferent, you know, it's really important that we understand that, if you like, it's an investment for us to do something better with for ourselves. So we grow, keep evolving, not revolving. That's one of my sayings, and it's really quite interesting. Now, here's the thing, right? I also believe that we need to be the man in the arena. I read that quote out on the last show. It doesn't matter who your critics are, the naysayers, the people that want to chop you down and make you small. Keep shining your light, because whatever it is that's within you, Wayne Dyer called that your music, don't die with your music still in you. It doesn't matter what you do, because you do the best you can with what you've got right now. You follow what you feel, where you're being guided, and you go with it. And each step, you get better with it. You find your own mastery. You find how to move and groove with things, and life gets a little lighter. I'm hoping this is all making sense to you. And as you do that, it's not that you get to be a master of anything. You just understand how you tick more, and you understand where your dark corners are more quickly. You recognize them energetically so that you can then dissolve that darkness with the light and keep moving forward, because it's all about where you're going, not where you've been. And going isn't the sense of a future thing outside of yourself. Okay, thank you, Benny, for that. What it is it's all about what you feel for yourself, that you see as your destination, that you get into alignment with, and make sure that your choices, behaviors, and actions that you make and take in each moment are congruent, are at one with whatever that is for you. So I'm hoping that makes sense. So here we go. On the last show, and I know Tina isn't on the show this morning. You may remember we tried something a little quirky at the end, something a little different. It was like a piece of healing for a trauma-related experience. And Tina was very brave and came up to us and shared an experience, which when I saw that on the screen, I knew that was, I felt the energy of that. I knew that was something significant to work through. And it didn't work well in the way that I intended it to do for her in the show. But what was behind that was really significant for Tina, and bless her, she got a lot of love from us all for that, which was great. But more importantly, she messaged me a few days ago, and she gave me a bit of background. Now, it's not my business to share with you because that was a one-on-one private thing, but some of the things made sense. And what was interesting about that was the way that I explained the work that I was doing with her. And this isn't meant to say, hey, let's polish Ian's halo. It isn't about that. But the things that I was given to guide her in that exercises were actually, in fact, quite relevant for her. Like I say, I can't go into details. I know that this sounds like a little cryptic, but you know what? We have to respect people's privacy. But equally, at the same time, something said to me, give her a break, give her out if she finds it too much. Apart from that being respectful and compassionate, something inside of me said, you've got to give her that opt out clause. And in fact, she probably went a few minutes into the exercise before she took us up on that. And that's fine because you see, we're here to help people, we're here to share our love, and hopefully that ignites them. We want to get people's motors running so their wheels keep turning. Okay, I very nearly wanted to say they're spinning, but spinning implies that you're stuck. Keep on turning. Okay, it's really important. Get that motor running. My lovely saying is, let your soul sing and your feet dance to the beat of your heart. It's so important. Okay, and thank you, Stace. It's great that she had the support from everyone, and particularly yourself. I saw that in the comments. It's really kind of you. But how wonderful, though, that what I found incredible from that experience, while what we did with her on the show didn't touch her in some way, it opened her up to talk about it to me separately. So, in some way, all I can do is have that intention that we did move something within her, even if it's just helped her to awaken that little bit more, to be a little bit more maybe brave with herself and take some steps to, the healing that's right for her. Because you see, you can't force people if they're not ready. You can't take people beyond where they're able to see at the moment if they're having an adverse reaction to it, because you'll cause another trauma. You'll actually compound the issue, and it's a fine science. That's why we have to go as we're being guided. So, it's important that we understand that. So the thrust of today's show kind of follows on from the last show, 2 weeks ago, and the theme of that. And this is more about the man in the arena. And the reason that I say man in the arena is because that was a quote by Franklin Roosevelt in 1910. But I guess this day and age we'd call it the person in the arena. But it was called the man in the arena if you want to look that quote up. It's on the last show. But the important thing is to get stuck in and do your thing, to take those steps. The lovely Stace that you can see on the screen there, she had the sort of the vavavoom to get up and do her first go live. And I popped in, we said hi, watch what she did. She did a great job, and probably appreciates now how nerve-wracking some of this stuff can be. But it's fantastic, her and Lauren, and it was all good stuff. So today's show isn't just about being the person in the arena. Okay, it's about steering your way once you're in the arena. You might be marred, bloody, covered in blood, sweat, and toil, but you know what? Isn't it a great way to go? They say go out with a bang. Well, that's the bang, to go out doing what you love, isn't it? Not to stand there on the sidelines wishing that you were the person in the arena, because that doesn't work so well. It's soul bankruptcy, soul starvation, spiritual deprivation of the soul, Bishop T.D. Jakes calls it. So it's really important that we do actually not make a game of what we call living, but we allow ourselves to fully experience these experiences. Because the universe is very benevolent. It's kind of like a Google all on its own, isn't it? We can ask it anything if we're open to it. So please do understand that, what's really important here is that we don't block ourselves up with stuff. So when we're in this arena, this living experience, not life, as I've said before, life is what you put on the book when you're done and you check out and you depart, okay? That's what they call what your set of experiences were, life. But we're living the experiences that we're experiencing. So as we move and we groove and we groan and we grow, that's actually the fun. If you don't like it, that's the tapestry. You've just got to shift your perceptions, shift your thinking. So today we're going to do some stuff where we are the person in the arena. We are marred, we are bloody, we're going to be covered in, sweat, toil, and all the rest of it. And understand, like that quote said, you know what? You're going to experience the triumph of the achievements. But even if you don't succeed as much as you might like to, you've still done more than most. You've still done more than you had done for you. And if you fail in inverted commas as you would judge it, then you do so daring greatly, which is why that quote is so important. Because everybody will criticize you. Everybody will. They have an opinion on it, a comment on it, because we're conditioned that way. People are more interested in pushing us down than lifting us up. I don't understand why that is. So the reality is, if life is going to be like that, then we have to learn to change ourselves, or we will be like everybody else, because what affects us infects everybody else. That's why we get the backlash of it. And we almost look to that to not people please, but blend with our circumstances or environment because we want to fit in. But deep down, our soul is churning. It's backpedaling, not forward pedaling, and that's no good for us. So it's really important that on some level, you make life a game. You don't get attached to things. You don't have those judgments. You just look at what you can do with what you've got. So today's going to be quite interesting because the experiences that I'm hoping that you're going to get, and they will be energetic, may prompt you. They might cause you to want to write things down that you need to go away and deal with. They may show up as what they call blocks or abundance blocks, things that you need to transmute, transcend, and ascend through and from to move on to what's next for you. Because you see, a few things happen when you get stuck. Okay, you either give up caring, and at some point, that's usually the slower route, right? Where it just takes you a little longer to kind of move on, all right? And you just get there in your own time because for whatever the reason, maybe you're not ready to take that action, and that's not a criticism. Maybe you just got to get there when you get there. I've had those moments in my life too. There's another way that you just drop it. You just let go because you just can't carry it anymore. Something inside of you just goes, no, not this, not you, no more. That's it. I'm done. And then sometimes it's with a little bit of guidance because, from the first example there to the second, that's a pretty big leap that you have to do. All right. But sometimes, there's a saying that says sometimes others' belief in you is important so you can start believing in yourself. I've said that before as well. It is so, so important. Believe in yourself because who says that you can't? And anybody that tells you that you can't, well, who says that they're right? It's just an opinion and opinions vary. So don't hold on to those. So with these exercises today, they're going to be a little different. They're going to be sort of stemming from a subject that's called in psychological circles active imagination. All right. So we're going to break it down into different sections, different experiences and things that we're going to do here. And I'm going to walk you through those as we do each of the exercises to see what they bring. Now, one of the things that I do on this show, my intention for you is to always to be able to tune into your energy quicker, quicker, quicker each time that we do it. Why? Because you're making progress. And as you do that, you can move away from what you've attached yourself to that isn't right for you because you're tuning into what you need. It's when you shut off those visuals. And that's why it's so important sometimes just to sit quietly and just close your eyes and take away that visual landscape, okay? The culture scape as well, everything that's around you. There are friends that will go out for coffee and talk about the woes and troubles. And rather than coming out of those conversations thinking, oh, it's really great to have some time out, you feel almost more depressed than when you went in because it was a negative energy that you were effectively spiked with and fueled with. It wasn't that uplifting energy that you needed. So here's the thing, right? We're going to flip this around just a little bit today. Now, what I'm going to invite you to do is to close your eyes for me. But before you do, make sure you're not operating any machinery, about to catch the kids as they jump in the swimming pool or anything like that. Do watch it on the replay. That goes for every exercise that we're doing. So I'm just going to invite you to come one step closer into the energy that I'm sharing out with you all this morning. And just close your eyes for me. Relax your arms, your hands. Just take a breath in and a breath out. Keep going. Just roll your shoulders, gesture your body comfortably. Okay. Now, straight away, you should be aware of your energy. You'll be aware of where it feels great for you, where it feels light for you, where it feels dark for you. You'll be able to feel where it's absolutely surging for you, and that feels absolutely fantastic. Just be aware of any areas in your body that you feel, there's the energy there that doesn't feel quite right for me, or might even feel a little bit out of balance. Maybe you're swaying a little bit, but do sit comfortably. Lie if it's more comfortable for you. It's whatever works for you. And just in there, just feel your heart automatically start to adjust to the rhythm of the energy as it is for you. Just feel that for me. Okay. Now I'd just like you to take your left hand and just place it onto your heart and just in a clockwise motion, just rub it round for me. Okay. And just breathe in and out as you do that and say, I'm okay. It's good to be here. I'm okay. It's good to be there. I'm okay. It's good to be here. And now just tap yourself, pat yourself very lightly and say, it's okay. I've got you. I love you. You got this. And then place your left hand on your heart and put your right hand over it and just breathe in and out. And I just want you just to see the light energy just expanding, surging through your body so that your whole body becomes light. Be aware of that energetic feeling as all of the sensations that you did have change and shift. Notice how your energy vibration is picking up too. For those of you that are more familiar with this, it might be surging quicker than others, and that's okay. Okay, it will go at its own place as is right for you right now. But notice if you start to feel uplifted, just start to become aware of what that feels like. Just say to yourself, this feels good. I like this. I want more of this. This is really important for me. I really, really like this. Wow. Now I'd like you to see in your mind's eye that you're standing on top of a mountaintop and you can see absolutely everything. The beauty is absolutely incredible. It just looks breathtaking. In fact, it is breathtaking. You can't believe how lucky you are to be here. And I just want you to pull what you can see into you. Okay, so you can feel that energy in your mind's eye. Feel it going out into your mind. Now just allow that just to literally trickle down your body. Okay, just feel it like almost you're having a drink. It's just rolling down your body. Just feel that uplifting energy that you can see everything, you can feel everything, and you feel fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. Be aware how your attention has gone off from everything else that was in your mind, and that's gone from today to fantastic, to this raised energy where you feel ready to go. And you start to understand that the things that were bothering you are no longer bothering you. You just, without doing anything, just start to feel better about them. In fact, I would urge you to look over your shoulder if you can, just to acknowledge with your eyes closed that they are behind you, because you don't feel where you were. And just bring your head back for me to center one more time and just acknowledge, I am here. I am not there. This is fantastic. I feel good. I want more of this. Wow. Okay, just breathe in and out for me. And that's great. Now, in your mind's eye, I'd like you to picture somebody that could use your healing, that has asked for your healing, or a request for healing that you are aware of, so we have permission. That's really important. And I just want you to picture that person, place, situation, or thing as if it was standing, sitting, or lying in front of you. Okay, so it's almost like a mirror image of you. Now, in your heart, with all the energy that you have, I just want you to feel your heart expanding. I want you to feel the power growing, the energy surging, almost coming straight into your heart to send that energy out as it beams out from you, out into the person, place, situation, or thing opposite you. So strongly, you see the energy go into them and start to fill them up and spread out throughout their bodies, their energies, or the person, the place, the situation, the thing that's there for you. And you just see that darkness dissolving as your light infuses them. Send them all your love. Send them everything that you've got permission to send them, to wish them well or whatever is right for you. And start to feel and acknowledge in yourself and observe how your energy is not diminishing as you do that. In fact, it's growing stronger. It's growing stronger. You want more of this. You feel good. You're fulfilling what you came here to do and complete. You're sharing it with others so we can all get better together for the good and great of everyone. Just notice how great that feels within you. And just as you feel that you've completed that healing that you can do for them, just allow the energy just to come back into you, and just allow your energy to settle, and breathe in and out for me. Ah, it feels good, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, that feels good. Okay. And just when you're ready for me, just wiggle your fingers and toes, gesture your body, and just come back into the room with me. Wow. So do share your experiences back with me. Just let me know if you felt that. Just say yes if it was positive for you, and no if it wasn't, because it's okay if it wasn't. You know, you may not get this the first time, but what's really important is that all you focused on there, hopefully that you got the experience of, was what felt good to you. And with the intention of wanting to share it out for something that you were aware of, you felt good about that, so much so that you could share what you had with a person, place, situation, or thing outside of you. You could transfer that energy like distant healing. You could send it to them without feeling any detriment to yourself. And that is so, so important to do, because quite often we don't give things in life. The culture scape around us says that if you give something to somebody, then you lose something. It doesn't work like that. When your vibration is right and when you are good with you, it just doesn't work like that. And actually, you probably feel even better than you did when you had the energy surging within. Hello. All right, we had a technical blip. I'm going to put that down to our incredible energy surging away. Okay. So I'm back with you. You see, the Bald Avenger, you can't keep a good man down, right? So, Stace, I'm back with you. Don't worry. Oh no, froze. No, no, I'm all real. I'm all here. So there we go. So hopefully, if you had that experience and it kind of really moved you more than just that experience itself, and you felt even better than you did before, type yes, yes. So yes, if you got the experience, okay, um, and that's all right, Sue. We'll see you later. Okay, watch the replay. And so type yes if you really got that experience. Yes, yes, if you really felt better than you did before you gave that energy away in the first place. Just let me know how that goes. So it's yes or it's a yes, yes. Lisa's saying yes. That's fantastic. That's good. So you had that experience. You know what that's like. Amanda's saying yes too. That's great. That's fantastic. Now, who else have we got coming in here? But let me crack on while you share your lovely comments with us. This is the interesting thing, right? Sometimes we need to focus on ourselves. Okay, we need to have our North Star. Yeah, great, Lisa. I'm glad you got the yes, yes. You know, okay, now Lisa's come back and just confirmed that yes, yes. Lisa, thank you so much for doing that. Can you just see how, with very little effort, and Christine Murray saying yes, yes as well, that if you like energy, that when we align with it, that is the universe, that is that God energy, that Buddha energy, that Allah energy, whatever you want to call that too. Hey, Tina, how you doing, my darling? Okay, it is just So important. Amanda got the yes, yes too. So you actually feel better for helping yourself and helping somebody else. Alison's saying her headache has gone. Absolutely incredible. I am tingling all over. I'm going to share my goosebumps with you all. Look at those babies, eh? How cool is that? So this is it. This is how you light yourself up. This is how you get your motor running and you keep your wheels turning. Okay, Mary's got it. Mary's on it. Mary's a yes, yes as well. This is fantastic. Okay, Michelle, please do watch the replay, my darling, and we'll figure that out as we go. Because actually, you know, what you experienced there, as fantastic as it was, is what we're going to do as we move into one of the next exercises. Okay, and that is where we start to use this for ourselves. Because I'm gonna muddle you up a little bit. You're now a lovely complete jigsaw puzzle, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in a box, shake you up, and all your little pieces that came together to make the picture, we're going to kind of have you all floating around because we need to recreate that picture. What I figured that I would do is not break you, but what are you saying here, Lisa? So are you saying the more we feel good, the more we're attracted to? Well, not as such. What you recognize is what you are. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. That's the saying. Okay. Stacey's saying my heartbeat got stronger and I feel lighter. Absolutely. But can you understand, Lisa, that just from what Stacey said there, you don't actually want to look at the things that weren't serving you or going so well for you before. So if you had some issues going on in your living experiences before you came onto the show, it's almost like they're behind you. It's like you want to look in your rear view mirror, you know, your visual, and look back and you can see that they're not only behind you, but they're quite a way behind you now. They've gone. And that's what's really, really important. Okay, Amanda got the heart thing, which is absolutely fantastic. So wherever you are is what you see and what you recognize. And that's the beauty of that exercise. So now we're going to pop your jigsaw pieces all broken up into their individual pieces back in the box. We're going to give it a shake. Okay. And we're going to move on to the next exercises because we're going to try this out with some readings again a little later on in the show. So here's a thought, right? I figured to myself, what can I do next with this? And then I got steered to this this topic of what's called active imagination. Now, what I'm going to invite you to do again, if is to close your eyes. But before you do, please, if you're driving or anything like that, or doing something where you need your full attention, don't close your eyes. Watch the replay. But for those that are able, I'm going to invite you now just to come one step closer to me, and as we join our energies together, just one more time. Close your eyes, just gesture your body, you know, get comfortable. It's all good, right? Okay. Now just take a couple of breaths in and out for me. Okay. Now straight away, what you should feel is that last energy coming racing back into you. Just see your body resetting after you've given that healing out. That uber uplifted feeling that you had of that energy, the yes, yes energy. So there you are, straight away it's back. Okay. So you now know that you're a force to be reckoned with. You now know that you can create what some folk, some humans call the miracles. They're not miracles. They're just what you could do all along that we've just given you and shared a bit of insight with so that you can get a little bit more honed in on that and get busy about helping yourself and others. But don't forget, and Ray Robinson from Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, Ray put up a lovely post. He said in these times of this lockdown, don't forget that you and those around you also need your time and your healing as well. And that was such a great message. Ray, thank you for that. And that's what it's about. That's what's prompted me, that post from Ray, to do this next exercise with you. So here we go. So you can feel you feel great, don't you? Now, we're going to go backwards to come forwards, but bear with me, okay? And I just ask you through all of these exercises to be aware that your energy is going to dip and sway and move around. But you know what? That's all cool and groovy. That's all part of it, because that is the experiences that you have energetically of each experience that comes your way in life. In other words, your probable reaction to something, which we now want to flip around into a response. Okay, so here we go. So with your eyes closed, I'd like you just to bring into your mind's eye. Now, bearing in mind, you're aware of that energy and just how tip-top you feel right now. You've got cream and a cherry on top, right? Feel how wonderful you feel. I'd just like you to bring back into your mind's eye something that isn't going so well for you right now, something that maybe you even are struggling a little bit with, or you're just working through. It's just one of those things, and maybe not the greatest experience for you. Okay, now just be aware of how your energy changes. Have you got that? Did you feel a little dip? Did you feel a little balance go? Did you feel part of you go good and part of you less good? You see, if you did, that's what those experiences are doing to you. Okay, that's what you're allowing them to do to you because you are reacting. But your emotions, your emotional guidance system is just letting you know that from where you felt wonderful at the start of that, this is how it's tipping you a little bit out of favor. In other words, you aren't in alignment with the benevolent universe, whatever that is for you. God, Buddha, Allah, it really doesn't matter. But you are part of it, that's for sure. So you are out of alignment. So it's not as easy for you to move from this point into perfect alignment if you don't make a change to the choices, behaviors, and actions that you are making and taking within each moment. Okay. So you need to learn to respond to the experiences that come your way. So now in your mind's eye, now you've got that, that's energetically within you, you'll feel that. And I would like you to now imagine that you are standing in a dark room with this issue that is with you. So you are literally in the dark. Okay, now I'm going to take my glasses off because that works well for me. Some of you may wish to do that as well, just to feel a little more comfortable. Now, just as you are in this room, this represents this situation or this thing or whatever it is for you that you've brought into your mind's eye. Now, hopefully it's not too traumatic for you and you can just feel it, okay? And you're just aware of it. But it's dark and you can't see a way out. You can't see a door, you can't see a sign. So you know that you need to do something different to move through this. But I'd just like you to tell yourself, it's okay. Good thing, bad thing, who knows? It doesn't matter. It's okay. This is just the experience that I'm experiencing right now. Now, you may get the tingles, you may get the goosebumps, you might feel a little, oh, crikey, oh no, however that is for you. But just learn to tell yourself it's okay. Because as long as I'm aware of what I'm feeling, it means that it is not me. And therefore, I am able to have a different relationship with it rather than being stuck with it because it is before me and not within me. So I can choose to see that this obstacle now that's standing before me means that, in fact, the room isn't black after all. There's just this shadow in front of you that is this situation that's blocking you from being able to see the opportunities and options that are here for you. Now, you can't align with them because you can't see them because whatever this is casting a big shadow for you. But as you breathe in and breathe out, you just say, it's okay. I've got this. It's okay. Now, hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit more at peace with this. Okay, you just get used to it. It's okay. I've got this. And just as you settle more at one with it, you realize that there is no fear. And as you begin to get more comfortable with it, you start to say to yourself, I'm going to make a change. So in your mind, I'd like you to say, I am going to make a change to how I see this situation. Okay. So now you start to feel your energy lifting up. You start to feel that vibration coming up. I am not going to stay with this as I am. I am making a choice to move forward from here. I'm going to take one step forward. That's what we're going to do. So just as you keep breathing with this situation, I would just like you to see that this dark shadow that this represents has just started to become a little less solid for you. Okay, so as your mind starts to decide that you want to do something with it, it doesn't seem so solid for you. In fact, you can make out a slight light or something in the distance that's got your attention. You can see where you need to go. You can see your North Star. You can see that there's something else on the road for you. And you can just feel your focus naturally gravitate to that light. It's almost like there's a door ajar and there's some light just creeping in. Can you see it? Have you got it? That's it. And you'll notice now that your focus, even with your eyes closed, is on that destination. It's no longer on this thing that's in front of you. You are no longer paying attention. You're no longer buying the experience of the energy that this thing represents. You're focusing on how you can get to what you see and now feel is where you're being guided as the right destination for you. Now, in your mind, I just want you to say out aloud, I feel okay with this. I feel okay with this. I know I'm being guided. I feel this guiding force moving within me, the same force that's showing me the destination of where I'm headed, moving within me, raising my energy. And slowly and surely you feel your energy rising, like when your heart expanded before, you feel that energy uplifting within you. You feel super strong, super powerful. You feel your own creative force. You feel like you can eat nails and crap thunder. You feel so incredibly strong. It's fantastic. Okay. And as you do that and you feel so great, just allow yourself to acknowledge that you have merged with that consciousness, that God energy yourself. You are at one with it. You are experiencing that creative force moving within you because you are allowing it. You feel good. And now I just want you to say to yourself, okay, this feels good. I want more of this. Now, knowing what this situation is for you in your minds, I just want you to say to this energy that is alive within you this, and repeat after me if you would. Out aloud or in your mind is fine. Please show me what's next for me right now to get to my destination. Please show me the steps I need to take to get to my destination. Please show me how I can find a way to get to my destination, moving through this with ease, without suffering, without pain. And just see yourself now as you do that. Feel yourself and see yourself moving forward. Just be aware of the energy shifts within you. Now, I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds now because I would like you to observe whatever the experiences are that are coming into your mind. Some of you may hear some communication, some spoken words. You might get some ideas, which is what the paper's for when we come out of this shortly. All right, because I'm going to get you to write them down because you won't forget this experience, that I can promise you. But if you get that sense of something that you know you need to do or you can do that came from somewhere within you, but somewhere that you can't explain, that gave you something that feels the right next step for you to do, I want you just to write those down like it was a journal entry. So I'm going to go quiet. I just want you to see as you're gravitating towards that door, just be aware of what comes into your mind. And I'm going to leave you alone for a few seconds and I'll count down from 5 before I start speaking with you again. Enjoy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your eyes closed, I'm back with you now. Now, hopefully you experienced something there, maybe a feeling, a sensation, maybe something cleared in your mind's eye that you needed to do, or a phone call you needed to make, or whatever it was for you. Okay, but just hold on to those for one moment. Okay, just acknowledge those and just say after me, mind, mind, mind. Hold on to that knowledge. Mind, mind, mind. Store that knowledge for me for when I need to recall it. That knowledge is now mine. And just feel good as you breathe in and out for me. Okay, right. Now just wiggle your fingers and toes, gesture your body. How does that feel? Just allow yourselves to come back in the room. Aha, hi Crystallize. It's Anne of London. So Again, let's just keep it simple with yeses and nos. If you had a wonderful experience there, type yes. If you had an experience where it wasn't strong for you or you didn't get it, type no. It's okay. There's no judgment here. We're all here to help one another. This is just another experience to help your experiences. Don't forget that. If you got some sort of communication or some insight, something where you felt you had some motivation or inspiration, some choice words, or a sudden knowledge of knowing you need to do something like a phone call to a certain person, even if it didn't feel like it was something that you wanted to do, but you felt you were being guided to do something, type yes, yes. Okay, so it's yes if you got it, it's yes, yes if you feel that you actually received something that gave you some guidance within you. Okay, I'd really, really appreciate it if you can do that. So it's yes, 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 or even no if you didn't get it. And that's okay too. All right. We're all friends. So Christine Murray is saying yes, she got the experience. That's great. So I'm pleased that you were able to move through and beyond that. That's great. Do we have any yes, yeses? Okay. Litzanne's saying, Ian, I've got the words love and you have been patient. Perfect. Litzanne, can you let me know, my darling, if that made sense for you for whatever the situation was that you were visualizing? Was it in context? Was it relevant? And do they resonate with you? Just type yes, yes for me. That will be fantastic. Did anybody else get the yes, yes? This is such great news. You see, we're making such great progress because what we're doing here is we're aligning with consciousness. Not only have you connected with it, Christine Murray is saying, yes, yes, God bless you. I am so pleased for you that you got that. Tina is saying, yes. Hey, Tina, it's lovely to have you with us. Okay, so you see, Kelly's getting yes, yes. This is fantastic. So you can now see that when you align, it stands just gone mad and gone, yes. Okay, when you align with all that is, how wonderfully positive that is. Stacey saying, yes, it was strong. I was physically moved back when I asked about my next step. Like they'd made me so heavy I had to sit back. So my situation was more clear. That's fantastic. And Lisanne is saying yes. So you can now see how you can connect to get the guidance that you receive. Now, what we're going to go on to in a minute is some more active imagination, some more active imaginative experiences that are going to show you how, when you align with it and you put this all together, you can truly leave the situations that you weren't so sure or didn't think you could, or even told yourself weren't possible for you. And here's the rub in all of this. You didn't need anyone or anything around you to do these exercises because I don't know what you brought into your mind's eye. I don't know that. I don't know what those experiences are. And quite frankly, it's none of my business. It's very personal to you. And we don't need to share that out. Okay. You just need to know that you can transmute, transcend, and ascend any pain, any fear, or anywhere that you have been stuck so far. It doesn't matter how many partners you've had, how many husbands, how many wives, how many people that have said yes or no to you. If you're 80 years old and people are still pushing you down, saying you can't do things, what I'm showing you now is who says they're right. Look at what you can do, not what you can't. People tend to talk about what they're feeling and pop it on you more than they do about lifting you up. More often than not, sadly, not in all cases, but more often than not. So this is how you can change your life. You don't need to rely on anyone or anything. But here's the spillover benefit. When you do this, it's so incredibly powerful that without doing anything, you will exchange the negative energies that are around you by setting your boundaries out to those things. They won't want to come close to you. You won't naturally want to go close to them, things that don't feel great for you. You won't go near. You won't even look just to, well, Mary got shocked because the postman rattled the post box. Oh no, don't worry, Mary, just go over the replay like you say. But just understand that you'll set your boundaries. You know, you don't have to put the shutters up, put it in a box, put it in the wardrobe on the top shelf. If you hold on to your experiences, they will weigh you down. They're no good. If you eat too much, if you consume all this stuff, you're going to get fat with all the things that aren't good for you. And you have to carry that fat around. It's as simple as that. But it's energetic fat in this instance. So it's not real in the sense of it being a physical thing. Nobody can give you fear. Fear doesn't exist. It's a state that we create in our minds. And what I'm saying is when you blend yourself with where you need to be, ain't the world just that little bit sweeter? And even better than that, the cherry on the pie is with all of this stuff, you can help somebody else. Maybe your husband, your wife, your children, your partners, They might be struggling with school, with work, with the lockdown, with some mental health issues, because mental health, we all have it, right? I have my own struggles. I work on myself with all of this stuff too. It helps me. Do I drop the ball sometimes? Guilty your honor. That stuff happens. I have to work through it. I buried a lifelong friend two weeks ago. Screwed me up, man. That wasn't a great experience. It was bumpy. I had to buckle up, you know. I had to go through that. It was an experience in itself, no matter how much of this stuff that you do. So you will never be a master, but you'll learn how to move through things. And as long as you learn how to move through things, you'll understand that nothing stops you dead in the tracks of where you are or holds you to a place that you know isn't where you need to be. But you allow it to you allow yourself to experience it for as long as you need to before you go, okay, I need to move beyond this. Because sometimes in those experiences, we learn what we need to learn. So you will understand that relevant to each experience that you are going through. Tina, thank you for your lovely, kind comment there. So is that making sense so far? So we've done those first two exercises already. So now, in a moment, I'm going to invite you to come one step closer with me again and join our lovely energy together. But before I do, I just want to share with you where we're going with this. Do you remember like that crack in the door that you saw, and automatically you know your attention went, your eyes went, even if they were in your head with your eyes shut. Do you know what? You just notice how you always, thank you, Stacey, you always focus on what's good for you. It's like an automatic thing. You know where you need to go. And that's the beauty of it. It's only when you choose not to see it, but it's there all along, that you get stuck. You're never stuck. My intention, my passion, my willing and my desires for you are to move you all forward with this insight that you will make your own in whichever the ways are for this to work best with for you. That's the beauty. You make it your own. I don't kind of really do anything. Whatever is moving through me, hopefully is now moving through you, just as long as you allow yourself to experience that. So here we go again. Get yourself safe. Put everything down that you're operating or driving, pull over, whatever it is. As I invite you to come one step closer to me one more time and just close your eyes for me. Just rest your arms, just roll your shoulders, just take some breaths in and out. Oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, so straight away you come back to that great energy. You feel like you're bursting. Your insides are the same color as my bright yellow t-shirt. You're just full of that energy. It's like you could leap a building in a single bound like Superman. You just feel, whoa, you just feel it come straight back, just like that. Come straight back. There you are. That's where you want to be. You want more of this. You say to yourself, I want more of this. This is where I am. You say, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? You feel that energy rise and you go, there I am. And then you say, I am here now. I want more of this. I feel good. I feel alive. Now, straight away into your mind's eye, go straight back into that room. It's dark, yes, I know, but don't worry about that because you can see that crack in the wall now that you couldn't see before. You're aware that there is an obstacle in front of you, but it doesn't seem so heavy, dense, and solid as it did before. You're focusing really strongly on that light that you wish to head towards. You feel yourself taking steps towards it. You say to yourself, I am here now. You feel that creative force moving within you so strongly, you know that you're being guided. You may even hear some words or some guidance pop in relative to this situation still for you that you had earlier on, or maybe some more. Maybe some things will become clearer for you. But what you're going to say is, and please repeat this after me, show me how I can get to where I need to be. Show me how I can get to where I need to be. Show me how I can get to where I need to be. And just allow that energy just to go up and down your body. Just feel your own energy levels. They may dip, they may wobble, they may come back. But as you choose to respond to the guidance that you're getting, oh yes, that feels good. Okay, I'm going to leave you alone for another few seconds to allow whatever it is that's coming into you, for you, okay, not to you, for you, what's coming for you, to percolate with that for a little while and just simmer. As you notice the crack getting bigger and bigger and bigger, there's more light coming in, and just acknowledge whatever is coming for you right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so with your eyes still closed, I just want you to embody what has come for you. Okay, just acknowledge that you've logged that away and just say, thank you, I've got that. Thank you, I've got that. Now you can see that there's a little greater depth to the first thoughts that you had like this. You now are even more sure of how you're going to get there. In fact, you're now ready to start going away and sketching a plan of how this is going to be moved, changed, or overcome, as the case may be for you. In fact, you know what you're going to do, and you seem to somehow know what you want to do next, to do your next step, to move beyond where you are. It's all become a little more clear for you. In fact, you feel lighter because you know you've already moved away from what it was, and it's better for you. You're feeling good, and that's okay, but please still keep your eyes closed. How fantastic does this feel? This is good. You love it. Okay. Now, you now see yourself right in front of this door. You're right there. So there's now a door between where you are and where you need to be. Okay. You've just taken those steps that you saw for yourself that came to you a moment ago. And here you are. You're right at the door and you feel good. Now, something inside of you is telling you that you need to trust what this is. Okay. It's a big step. You know that. It is a really big step. Don't underestimate it. But you feel good and you feel ready for this. And with this door in front of you, you know that whilst you don't know how it's all going to pan out, you have the faith and the trust to take a chance. And so you see your hand rising to the handle. My goodness me, you have grasped that handle and you say to yourself, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to move one step beyond and one step closer. I trust what is guiding me. Please show me what's next for me. Please show me what's next for me. And as you open that door, you move through it and you just become overwhelmed with this bright white light, this tranquility and peace. As you somehow automatically close the door behind you, you feel it go da-dum as it shuts and you just breathe in. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Okay, and all of a sudden you become aware that that picture that you had when you were standing on top of the mountain feels fantastic. It feels fantastic. Now, being on top of the mountain, you don't know how you're going to get down, but you've just overcome what you needed to move through. But you know that you will find your way down. You will find your way forward from here onto the next thing that you need to move through for you. And just acknowledge how fantastic that that is. That benevolent universe where nothing physically happened. I didn't give you anything. You didn't take anything. You just worked with the energy within you that you moved through something that had previously been blocking you. In fact, so much so, if I now call that your experience for ease, okay, so that situation was experience. You are now in such an uplifted state of magic euphoria that if I say to you, experience, 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 it isn't wobbling you. You're just where you are. And in fact, you know to go back to that experience, you'd have to open that door again. But something inside of you just doesn't want to go back. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You've just made a transition and moved one step closer into that strength of experiencing consciousness, aligning with it, allowing it to move within you, and using your own creative powers to allow what came to you to be able to make that your own. So just when you're ready, just gesture your body, wiggle your fingers and toes for me, and just open your eyes and allow your soft gaze to settle into the room and your eyes to settle. Straight away, reach for your paper if you've got it. Write down those experiences for you. If you feel that you've already got a couple of things you need to write down, they feel like steps that you know you need to take, write them down. Write them down. Okay. So just while you're doing that, I'm just going to share some words with you. So people talk about meditation. People talk about motivation, inspiration, focus your focus. But here's the thing. My one is connection. Because when I connect with what it is that I know I need to do for myself or where I need to be, even if I don't know what that is, I know it needs to be better than where I am right now. That crack in a door can sometimes just be, please show me what's next on the road for me that's better than this. Help guide me to what I need to do to move through this to where I need to be, to that space and place where you will always find me. Okay? Because what you're effectively doing is you're aligning with what is intended for you so that you can fulfill and complete what you came here to do and share it with others. So you and everyone can all get better together for the good and great of everyone. And you should be feeling pretty electrically charged right now. You should be feeling pretty good. Okay? Maybe your head feels a little tingly. Maybe your body does too. And that's okay. Absolutely okay. So just while you're writing all that down, I'm just going to read these words back to you as I put this quote together, which I'd like to share with you, that I read out at the start of the show. When we see the world as we are, not how it is, hence why, when we make the change within us, the changes on the outside make themselves visible to us and seem to happen all on their own. When we see the world as we are, not how it seems to be, hence why, when we make the change within us, the changes on the outside make themselves visible to us and seem to happen all on their own. So share your experiences back. Let me know if you experienced that. Yes, and yes, yes again. Let me know if you moved beyond whatever that was blocking you. Okay. Litzanne's come straight in. She saw a white angel with wings by the crack in the wall, and she went through the door. The whole room was filled of angelic light, and she felt elated and soaked with angel love. That's fantastic, Litzanne. But do this favor for me, would you? Just let me know if you felt that you had moved beyond, or whatever it was had moved out of you, or you had moved out of that experience, that situation, that person, that place, that thing that was going on for you. Did you move beyond it so that it was no longer effectively on your radar? You were at complete peace. Just type yes, 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 if that's the experience that you got. Because it's really, really important that we understand that we did transmute our pain, we transcended our suffering, and we ascended to the place where we now know we can co-create. You co-created with that creative force that you allowed yourself to experience for maybe one of the few times in your life that you are consciously aware that you allowed that to happen. Something that you just used to might call a miracle. Okay, it wasn't a miracle all along. As Abraham Hicks says, it's not out of the blue, it's out of the oblivious. It was there all along when you align with it. It sounds saying, yes, I had, or if I put my teeth in it, saying it might help, mightn't it? Yes, I had felt lighter. I was worried about something, yes. Okay, that's great. So you can understand now how you can move these blocks and these obstacles out of your way. You know that you don't want to go back. And so therefore you can have more trust in what's guiding you with the guidance that comes, because you know you feel better than you were. You haven't just taken one step forward, you've taken a series of steps forward, and you have improved your well-being. Christine Murray is saying, I have moved beyond today. Yes, thank you, Christine, so much. Kelly's saying, yes, yes, this is fantastic. Now can you see how nothing is a problem unless you want it to be a problem? Can you understand why you need to be mindful about the people that are around you, that are affecting you with what they see the world as, or how they're experiencing it and giving it to you? Those friends that go into the coffee shop that you think, crikey, I wish I'd never have come now. Now, we can send them love and healing. I'm not suggesting it hasn't got a purpose. Maybe your purpose is that as you are feeling better, greater, and more able, that you can share that with them and help them. Maybe that's why they've come to your path. But don't allow anybody to leave you in a worse state than when they found you. Now, Mother Teresa had a lovely saying, because this applies to yourself and looking after you as it does everybody else. If you can't love someone, please don't hurt them. Wow. Close your eyes, feel that. If you can't love someone, please don't hurt them. Because maybe your people are no longer your people. Maybe you need new people around you. Because if anything is literally dragging you down to the level that doesn't feel comfortable with or for you, you will want to resist it because it's not your place to be. You don't need to go and get in it to find out what's going on and go and go through everybody else's traumas, because as much as we're here to share our love and light and help others, we've got to keep ourselves well. Anyone will tell you in an emergency situation, if you are gifted and skilled to be able to help survivors of some sort of, like an air crash or something, you see these videos played out, you put the oxygen mask on you, make yourself safe, and then you help everybody else. Because it's that old analogy, the Buddhist saying, about the man walking along the shore and throwing the starfish back. And somebody said, "You won't save them all." And he said, "But it will count to the ones that I save." Michelle saying, "Whoa, I saw a mountain, then trees. I moved forward, shut the door, and saw multicolored fairies, white light, then pale purple. My body feels lighter, but my feet more grounded." That is fantastic because you see, you have, Michelle, that confidence and that knowing within yourself that whilst you didn't really know what moved you, what guided you forward, moved you to a better place, all you had to do was trust it. All you literally had to do was to open the door and let it in. That's a line to a Paul McCartney song somewhere, if you're young enough to remember that. How fantastic is that? So whenever you go and grow through these experiences in life, you will always understand that the problem, as we call it, and the solution come at once. This is old Einstein quotes that he mentioned. I'm just hopefully showing some insight and some exercises in my own interpretation of how, in my lifetime, I've moved through them thus far to make my living experiences better, to keep those things that no longer suit me away from me. And I've had to, yeah, Stacey, it's a great saying in the starfish one, isn't it? You know, it's a great thing. You know, this involves two marriages. Does that mean they were wrong and I was right? Not absolutely. We all had our part to play. And sometimes, please understand that you do just need to look at life and reflect on life and allow the feeling of the experiencing passing through you, literally like, you know what, sometimes enough water's just flown under the bridge that you know that you're done. This isn't about casting aspersions, because I know for the two relationships, two marriages in my case that I had, they were wonderful experiences for me because they taught me something, even if that wasn't the place for me to be or my wife's to be in that case, but we have both moved on to something better. And all of us have moved on to something better. I don't doubt that. I know people are happy, and it's important because it helps change us. And I help people. That's what I want to do. And I hope people can embrace this and move themselves on and move themselves through things and still continue to grow. But please don't stay stuck because things feel familiar and you hear yourself say those words, because I'm comfortable with this. I kind of want you to be a little uncomfortable. It's that wandering mind. It's that dream state of what's next for me? What else is there? Please guide me to the next thing. Now, your reticular activating system, there's the set of words for you. Your reticular activating system, the way that your mind and your memory works. You know that saying that I've used before, where you say yellow car, you play that yellow car game when you're driving along with your kids, or you go and buy a new car and you sign a deal on the showroom with the salesman, you know you're going to get that car. Now, you've never seen, let's just say, a white Ford Fiesta anywhere up until that point. And all of a sudden, the little critters are everywhere, aren't they? Because that's where your attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. So that's why it's really important that these people around you, you don't want those memories to be what you hold in for yourself to allow yourself to see, because that's all you will see, because you program yourself with that being important for you. That's why we need this constant state of evolution, all right? It's so important. Keep evolving, not revolving. Revolving is you'll get stuck, because sooner or later you'll get bored of it. You know, you can only hear the same old stuff, watch the same old programs, do the same old thing before you go, I'm bored. But don't focus on being bored. You need to say to yourself, what can I do to make myself better? That's the thing. How about that? So I really hope that that's been a useful experience for you all, and that in some way you now feel empowered, inspired, and motivated to change some things in your life that you just didn't feel you were able to do, or know that you need to pay attention to make them better for you. Christine's saying, thanks so much, Ian. I've needed these exercises today. I'm really, really pleased for you. I'm really pleased that for whatever the reason was that this stuff came to me in the way that it did, why Ray wrote that post, why I had the guides and inspirers working with me, around me, physical and non-physical, to allow that creative consciousness to move through me to do that. You know what? I don't know. But listen, my advice is if something comes your way, don't knock it. Thank you, Tina, for your lovely comments there. So this is really, really great stuff. So let's look to finish on another high. Let's try something else. So is anybody brave enough to give me a situation, or I should say share with me a situation like the one that we've just been through? Okay. And if you're not, or if you fancy a reading, because we can do some readings as well, I don't mind. We can go either way. Just be willing to share with me an experience, okay? And I'll tune into that and see what comes. Okay, so this is going to be what I call tarotless tarot. You're welcome, Litsan, and thank you, Tina. So if you just want to see what's around you in an experience, let's do that. No tarot cards, free hands, it's all good. Okay, so it'll be wherever I'm drawn to whoever sends the comments in. So get your fingers typing. Obviously, there is a little delay, so I'll give you a little bit of time there. Stacey's saying it's really helped me as well today. That's fantastic. It's Anne saying, Tina, you are blessed, hun. That's such a lovely saying and a lovely thing to say. Wonderful, wonderful. So just bear with us. We may have some internet issues that come in. You know, sometimes the old bandwidth goes up and down a little bit. That's just life, unfortunately, how this ebbs and flows. Okay, so has anybody got anything that they'd like to share with me as an experience? And I will just share what I tune into introspectively. So it's like using that great creative influence and power, that consciousness that we had earlier. So I'm quite drawn to Stacey. Stacey says, yes, my daughter is into, oh, I'm going to ask my lovely producer just to pop Stacey's situation back up for me. That's very kind of you. Thank you, RJ. So Stacey's saying, yes, my daughter is interfering in my son's business and is taking sides with his ex instead of looking out for her brother. Okay, Stacey, so let me just go over that one more time. Yes, my daughter is interfering in my son's business and is taking sides with his ex instead of looking out for her brother. Okay, that sounds pretty deep. So let me just see where I am going to go with this and what I'm guided to do. And Stace, just please let me know as I speak through this whether this resonates and makes sense for you. Okay, just give me a few moments, folks. Okay, so Stace, pick up your ears, my darling. We're off. So straight away, the feeling that I've got within me to do with your son's business is that it's starting to get traction. It's starting to move. And none of this has anything to do with COVID unless I mention COVID, okay? So this is just literally what's going on around him. It feels like he's got a better idea of where he needs to be and where he needs to go. But what I'm being shown is your daughter actually not so much interfering, but perhaps losing a rock, or if I call it an advisor, or somebody that was there that had more attention for her before, not being as present in her life as he goes on his own way and moves away from what is familiar. And your daughter isn't very good when things sort of change around her and she isn't able to control them. I don't mean that unkindly, but what her brother is doing that she can't get is very different to what she feels is right and wrong, because she feels very black and white for me. Now, what I want to say to you is I keep getting the name Terry that just keeps being pulsated through my mind here as well. And I also just keep being shown what looks to me like a grandfather figure that would have been a lorry driver or had connections to do with transport, because he comes in and he would have passed of a cancer condition caused by some smoking related illness, whether that was like the lung cancer itself or like the asbestosis type of feeling, the COPD or something like this, but it's that sort of condition. Yes, he does. He's very self-aware of what he needs to do. That's fantastic. But you see, because your daughter relies on him so strongly, what's happening for him at the moment is he's almost become like a greasy pole. You know, she can't hold him. She can't hold him. And this is one of the reasons that your son outgrew his ex. And whilst that doesn't feel completely uncomfortable for me, it does feel that your son knows that he needs to distance himself from his ex, because she seems to have, from the way that I'm being shown it, quite a lot of influence, unnecessary influence that perhaps isn't good for him, for her to have, for where he is right now. Because it does feel, the only way I can describe it, Stacey, is like sour grapes. So it's like he's going off on his own and almost leaving them behind. And they are similar, not necessarily the right personalities that would always get on, but they kind of get each other. They're, cut from the same cloth in some way and on some level. And that's why the two of them have come together. And it almost feels like cohorts. It's like getting together to see how we can kind of get him back to where we want him to be. But you know what? For the first time in his life, I'm going to say to you that I just see him outgrowing them and going his own way. It also makes me feel very clearly that there's a plan for him to move away as well. And I don't just mean a little bit away. I mean, like I feel he wants and he's planning to move a distance as well. I don't know whether you know that or not, but this is what he needs to do, because it's not for him to run away from where he is right now. It's to physically move away and start that whole new life for him, because people need to get used to what he needs to do for him and how he needs to sort of keep his motor running. Now, I do see him moving around quite a lot, and obviously this will be coming up for him. I want to say by June next year, because I'm not as warm as kind of the height of summer, and I'm not as cool as spring. So I want to say around the June time, it really starts to feel that things are going to pick up for him. I don't know whether you understand this or not, but what I'm being shown is he's quite nichey in what he does. So he doesn't want to outgrow where he is. There's something very special that he plugs a gap that doesn't exist in some way, and he can be quite successful. I also see him being quite resourceful and very handy in some way. And in case I'm misinterpreting what I'm being shown, I can see him literally building his way. But I actually feel that he is building in some sort of fashion physically with his hands. So do let me know if this makes sense, all right? But as he's continuing, I have connections with lorry drivers. Okay, fine. I've just got this big connection with lorry drivers coming in. Yes, but Ian, she's the ex, is very manipulative. Okay. Now, I don't mean to be rude, because I talked about your daughter, Alani. He talked about moving countries. Okay, that's fine. I just know that this will be good for him. There's something about your boy where the warmer climates as well suit him better. I don't know whether he's got issues to do with his own breathing, or he just wants that clean air, or it helps him move in some way. But it just feels like he can move better in the warm. He doesn't like the cold. But I just want to say to you that this all feels really, really positive for him. And I just know, okay, I'm just getting Pete, Pete, Pete shouted out, but this will be Pete here that's walking around. This feels like somebody good that comes close to him, comes in on what feels like either a sibling or a cousin or a good friend type vibration here, or somebody that would be a good sounding board for him that he would trust. But I keep getting in, Pete is like a good ear to listen to. All right. Now, this feels the grandfather figure is talking to me as well. But I do feel that he needs to get up and on with his travels. I'm also made aware that he might have considered he's resourceful, good with building cars. Okay, that's great. But I also feel that at one point, being in the army, or I'm going to call it the army because it's certainly not the Navy or the Air Force, would have been quite good for him. Okay, because he was contemplating that, and I don't know whether he shared it with you, but he was using that as a get out rather than it being the right thing for him to do. So I want to say he must have had a wobble when, I want to say around maybe the 18, 19 mark, where he would have thought about fleeing more because he couldn't stand it. But now what he's learning to do is that everybody has got to do what they've got to do, and he's got to do what they've got to do. And he can see that his sister and his ex have still got their own stuff to deal with and can't move beyond that at the moment. It's like they're hitting the glass ceiling. In other words, they haven't gone through the exercise that we've all been through today. But your son, in some way, has, I'm going to, grown up in the sense that he's grown through that and he's able to move forward with where he needs to be. And this feels really good for him. You've probably seen the changes in him, that he started to look healthier as well. Because what I can see with him is that he's made himself healthier. You know, it looks like he's put a little bit of weight on and just sort of stabilized as well. It looks like he's balancing his nutrition, his fitness, and doing everything that he can to nourish himself as well. Now, you may or you may not know this. I'm mindful I'm on a public area, but I also see new connections to do with love connections being around for him as well. I'm also aware of a small girl here and a small boy that I'm being shown that link in with this. So again, for the reading purposes, we'll call this the future. This is something that is around for him, and it feels this all links in around this. I'm going to say really good time for him, June, July, and August next year. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get that news that Mum, I'm making these big changes, because it feels like it's going to happen kind of like that and really, really quickly for him. I don't know what the joke about his feet is, but Grandad here is just showing me that there is this. Oh, hang on a moment. Do you understand Eric that would have passed, that would have linked in either as a friend for Grandad or an elderly gentleman that you would have known? Because I'm getting Eric and Dan that are here as well that would have passed, and they feel that they're either friends of Dad's or they fit in as other family members that have passed because they feel familiar for me. Okay, and they're just coming in just to say, yeah, boy, get on with it. Good friend, I think. I've had to ask him. Okay, that's fantastic. So he wanted the army but couldn't get in as he comes under tier 1 of the army's disability rules. Okay, my darling. All right. And he was in cadets when he was younger. Okay, yeah, I get that. His son and daughter, wonderful. Okay, so this just feels about him making the choices that are right for his family now, and him pulling away for things of what doesn't serve him anymore. It's like in his own way, he has gone through his own version of that exercise, but more lumpy and bumpy in the earthly experience of that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for you. And I know of you. I don't know you that well, and I certainly don't know any of that. But that is your tarot reading for your son. I hope that makes the sense that you've acknowledged it has, and some as well. Hold on to those timings because I'm being shown that, and that's just the place where my attention needs to go. And thank you so much for offering that up to us. So very quickly, before we go on to advertise the shows that are on later today, whatever was guiding you earlier on was guiding me to have the insight and the trust to rely in relaying what came to me, either visually, sensory, whether I saw it, heard it, smelt it, tasted it, or almost could touch it and feel it in my own way as the experience moved through me, and just give it out to Stace right on the end there, right out on the air, without any prompts, without any aids, without it being necessarily a mediumistic reading. So if I can do that for you, and that can make sense and resonate with Stace, and I'm glad it did for Stace, not for me, what I'm showing you is you can all do that for yourself. That's why you are all mediums, because effectively it's no different from you trusting the guidance that you've got to move you through those experiences that we went through in the exercises today. How fantastic is that? So it's just how the information comes to you, but the more that you open yourselves up to that, the more you can experience. So I know my lovely producer will be getting ready to put up the slides for the shows that are coming up later today, which you're going to see on your screens in a minute. And I hope you've really enjoyed those experiences. So here we go, because we have some great shows coming up now for the rest of today for you. At 3:45, we have the lovely Indigo Amy Packman, my lovely friend Indigo, doing her own oracle readings in her own unique way. She's lovely, and she has her own insight and spins on things that she will share with you, and her own advice to guide you on your way, her style with her influences. And that's absolutely fantastic. Tune in at 3:45, not to be missed. Then the dynamic duo we have at 8 o'clock this evening, diddly-doo, going to keep you in suspense, because we have the lovely Matt and Kirsty Grogan coming along with their own inspiring show that will be winging its way to you later on, 8 p.m. tonight here on Spiritual Psychics TV on YouTube, where again, they do their own version of questions and readings and have their own insight with the inspiration that comes from them, from what you ever want to call their inspirers and guides or anything else like that, so that they can pass that on and share that with you. And there they are, the cleanly shaven Matt Grogan, without the zipper kind of makeup that Kirsty put on him for Halloween. He's not a bad looking fella, is he, underneath all of that? And the lovely Kirsty there, almost looking slightly nervous, I must say. I don't know whether she's passing me a message or not, who knows. But do join that for live mediumship and oracle card readings. Great pair. And then on Tuesday, we have the lovely Deb Clark, Chatting with Spirit. There's a very pensive look there from Deb as she contemplates it all and delivers her own mediumship readings in her own style. Fabulous medium and friends, we all are with each other and in and of ourselves, and we love coming to you here on this channel. So do tune in. 3:45 to Indigo Amy Packman, to 8 o'clock for Matt and Kirsty, and then tomorrow for Deb. And then we also have the lovely Rachel Galbraith doing the lovely palmistry and tarot readings tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Why? Because it's transatlantic. That's right. You kind of get your own virtual astral traveling, if indeed there is such a thing, to get the lovely readings from Rachel. Fantastic. If you haven't seen those shows, watch the back catalogue. If you haven't caught Matt and Kirsty, watch the back catalogue. If you haven't caught Deb, watch the back catalogue. And if you haven't caught the lovely Indigo and Pac-Man, watch the back catalogue. For me too. And the lovely Polly and Leah are doing another trance demonstration for the VIP members. So do tune into that as well. You can see that there is a charge for that, but you can join in on Sunday, the 6th of December. So that's coming up Sunday week for you to join in and have a wonderful experience. Two lovely friends and talented mediums and spiritual people in their own unique way. So I hope you've had a happy time today. I hope you're going to leave here all buzzed up, supercharged with consciousness, supercharged with a little bit of insight where Iain's just opened the door and showed you your way, okay? That has ignited something within you to find your own way, to know that you need to go forward with what you need to do. Stacey's just saying that's brilliant, thank you. That's made me more relaxed about him, as I've been worried which way he's going to go. Well, Stace, that's fantastic, and I'm glad you can understand that message. So, until we meet in 2 weeks' time, I just want you to go away and practice that. Make it your own. You'll find your own way of working with it. Okay, I've just given you a little bit of Iain. You've just been injected with a little bit of Iain energy there, just to help show you the insight as I interpret it to be. Okay, to get you going on your way. Shared with the wonders and the magic that RJ, our lovely producer, produces with all his hard work in the background. So thank you very much, RJ. Lots of love as always. Lots of love to you all. And until we meet again, take the best care always. Much love to you all.